What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Wait, What Are We Talking About podcast, episode 69. My name is Brett, aka Enigma9011, and you can catch this podcast live over on twitch.tv/Enigma9011 every first and third Saturday of the month at 8 p.m. Eastern, where we talk about a buttload of topics and hang out and have a good old time. If you can't catch it live, that's a-okay. You can catch it over on youtube.com and soundcloud.com the following week, where it's put out topic by topic and also is one big video or MP3 for your amusement. If you want to support us, remember you can always go over to the merch store and get some swag over there. T-shirts, cups, backpacks, and more. All over there. Rep the brand, support us. It would be greatly appreciated. Now, episode 69 is a monumental event, and someone requested to be on episode 69. So here she is, making her return. Once again, is Lady in Wonderland, a.k.a. Kate. Kate,
Hello.
Thanks for being on the podcast.
Thanks for having me on.
Now, funny thing about this besides the name and the number and all that stuff, is usually we don't know what we're going to talk about, and we struggle a lot thinking of topics. Somehow, my big brain thought of 4 topics to talk about. So, that's right. It's a big podcast. We're doing probably all 4, unless it's like a 3-hour long thing like Jeff, and I can't render that long, and I'm going to be like, no, stop it. So, we'll see. But, whatever.
That's good that you did, because I thought of 0 topics, as usual.
As usual. And she had a month to prepare.
I did.
A whole month? So we're going to get right into it. Hope everybody's doing well. Thank you for watching and listening. First topic 1, we're going to talk about a little Netflix phenomenon that has blown up. Well, blew up like last month. We're tardy at the party. Shocker. Joe Exotic Tiger King. What the fuck is this show?
It was gross.
It was something. It was gross. It was funny. It was saddening. It was depressing. It was laugh out loud. It was rip your hair out. It was shake your head. It was a lot of things. So we wanted to talk about our experience, I guess is the best way to put it, with with this show. So yeah, Kate, overall, what did you think of Joe Exotic Tiger King?
Gross. He was gross. they were all gross. I just don't. I mean, people really live their lives that way, and it's crazy to me that that's so people, and they're just living their lives and having tigers as pets, and it's just, I don't know. My hot take on this show: everybody is making Carol Baskin the ultimate villain of the show. And I think this may just be because she is a sociopath and believes her own lies. But I found her the least offensive of all of the gross people on that show.
Okay.
I felt the least physically repulsed by her.
Okay. Fair enough. Just a heads up, guys, we are going full spoilers if you didn't pick up on that already. Yeah, I get what you mean by Carol being the least appalling in that way. But man, she definitely deserves her villainry that people are giving her out of it. Obviously the whole allegedly killing her husband kind of thing. Allegedly. But even that episodes where they deep dive into the whole murder and her background and whatnot, I think I even pointed out to you in the freaking episode. I'm like, at one point she talks about her family and how she ran away or left as a kid rather, and had no relationship with them and was doing her own thing because they were assholes, which that sucks. So,
But could be true. That's believable.
But then later in the episode, she talks about going out to do something with her dad and how it was great spending time
he
together.
Was there.
Yeah.
He came over or something and they were all there.
Yeah. Now
it was just a weird.
I'm not saying you can't let bygones be bygones, grow past things, whatever. But the way she talked about her parents, in the beginning, like, her dad was abusive and this and that, and there was like this whole big thing, and like they were never talking again. If she left, she was dead to him. Blah, I don't know. Maybe I'm just filling in words here, but like then all of a sudden, just whoop, dropped
along
it.
Those lines, though, yeah. And then all of a sudden, he was there.
Yeah, and it's like,
which is just weird.
Okay, so yeah, her villainy is up there, but yeah, there's some other interesting characters that probably skeeve you out a little bit more. I'm sure the first person that comes to mind for you is the Grand Poobah Wizard, Tiger King.
I don't even remember what his name is, to be honest with you.
I don't remember anyone's name except for Joe.
The guy who...
and Carol Baskin, but
Carol Baskin.
Carol Baskin.
The guy who was running his own... Like, I want to say brothel, but it's only for himself.
Mm-hmm.
But also with underage girls.
Yeah.
Which is really gross. I almost couldn't keep watching when he was on screen because I felt like I physically needed to walk away from my computer while we were watching the parts where he was on screen. He just... I don't know. They're all gross, but something about him really... Like, I couldn't even look at him.
Yeah, that was the big tipping point, because, like, you don't learn about that for a couple of episodes. Pancake's right on that same level. He's fucked up in so many ways. The thing that made me laugh and chuckle was, like, how... I don't know if OCD is the correct terminology, but he was very meticulous of how he was presented, what he was saying, how things were shot. Like, thank God the director or whoever... kept some of these scenes in, but before they're shooting documentary footage, he's like, okay, so where do you want the shot? Do you want us over here? 2 tigers, this girl, blah 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 blah. Like, yeah, he's micromanaging
the whole thing.
And then like they showed him doing, oh yeah, it was one interview, he's like, now let's do that over again. I gotta, like, double checking his words and whatever, which, I mean, I can understand in a way, like, hey, I'm being represented this way, I want to put my best foot forward, kind of thing. But like, it's not your project. You shouldn't be like, well, we should actually do this. That's a terrible shot, blah, 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 that you're doing or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. The way he did it was just gross and creepy.
So, yeah, we had him. We had the Joe's, like, business partner from Vegas who owns nothing but apparently owns everything or has all this money.
Like you do.
Yeah. Which was... interesting. And then he's screwing over Joe, and they screwed over the other guy that bought in like at the tail end and then just cut out, and he's like, this guy's an asshole.
So I mean, I don't know, I guess that's how you do business when you don't actually have any money to do business with.
Get somebody else to do it and then go from there. And then we had the FBI call out guy. He was sketch in general because he was like a shady black market dealer. He sold some guy a car that was stolen or whatever. But then just like, take all that away, take all the bad things he's done, take out all... What is this guy's look? He's got a bowl cut that's like up to his forehead. Like, how did he think that was okay?
I don't...
Ever.
I mean, some people go for the bowl cut. They just really do. I don't understand it. That was also... That should be, like, the least disturbing part, but that's...
It was up there.
It was pretty bad. Like, it's a pretty bad bowl cut.
Yeah. Well, are there good bowl cuts?
I mean, no. It just like starts at bad and then gets more and more exceptionally bad.
The only bowl cut I will accept is Coconut Head from Ned's Declassified, and you don't even know what that reference is.
I don't know who that is.
Maybe Pancake does, or any other viewer, but yeah, no.
But yeah, I agree with Pancake. It really didn't seem faked. Like,
which
none of it seemed fake. It just seemed like.
And that's a big draw.
These people are really that messed up, and it really kind of makes me worried.
And that's a big, like, what do you want to call it? Like, moment for me of, like, shake my head. Like, it's so dumb and so ridiculous. You're like, this has to be fake. But then,
it just
clearly
really
it's not.
doesn't seem like it is. Yeah.
Like, how can people be so dumb or so stupid to think, I won't get caught breaking this law, or I can get away with anything. I'm a god, blah, blah, blah. It's just like, fuck off. Like, what happened in your brain to turn those things, like, flip those switches any which way?
Right.
It's just confusing.
And that becomes the actual reality that you live in.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, I mean...
And you totally believe... I think most of them really believed they weren't just putting on a front. That's actually where they live. That's the reality that they live in. Especially Carol Baskin. And I feel like that's why she was less outwardly offensive, because I think she believes what she tells people, and so she seems more sincere. But she's also clearly crazy and definitely did kill her husband. Like, that
Allegedly.
definitely did happen.
I don't know. And yeah, there's nothing wrong with believing what you're saying, kind of thing. Like, but there comes a time where there's a line, and these people all crossed it. Like, they all had things that were bad. Like, Carol, for one, her place was all pretty nice and, like, seemed like she was taking care of everything well. But then the volunteer work for however many hours, like, nothing wrong if you want to volunteer, that's fine, it's your choice. But, like, however long she was making those people work and whatever, like, stuff like that. Obviously Joe was paying his people dirt and the rotten food from Walmart
oh my god, the Walmart food trucks, meat trucks that
feeding the tigers and stuff, and they got first pickings because they were
first pick of the expired meat. And then they also sold that when they decided that they were also going to be a restaurant as well.
Oh yeah.
For a while there, then just take your food off of the expired Walmart truck. It's probably fine.
Right. And then we already talked about Jesus guy, because with his numerous things.
I wish I could remember his name. I probably should have prepared more for this topic. But
they're all.
That's the
thing.
I don't want to look him up.
Anyone who has watched this show knows exactly every person we're talking about,
true.
And they don't remember their names, so it doesn't really matter. And then let's see. Yeah, there's just a lot of people. I think there's only.
Know if he's in jail. He should be in jail. Or actually just trafficking underage women.
Right.
So he can have sex with them.
And
also killing baby tigers.
Right. And that's the thing too. Like, obviously they all have to agree to be filmed, right?
Yeah.
How did any of them think, yeah, this is fine, come on in?
I mean, at least, okay, Joe Exotic, I think he was too stupid to realize
he thought it was a business opportunity to expand his brand, which,
that's true.
God, fuck it, this man was putting in work. Hell of work. He was doing podcasts. He was doing radio shows. He was making music videos that were dope as shit. No, they weren't.
Oh my god, the music videos.
Oh my god. This man ran for governor and president. Why? Because he wanted to. Don't let your dreams be dreams. Shia LaBeouf told this man to do it, and he did it. So, like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Real life worst part of Travis. Was that the second husband? Because, yeah, that was fucked up.
That was also very, very strange.
Yeah.
His relationships were very weird. I mean, I think at the end, I think they pretty much outright said it. I think they went past implying it, that they were just in it for drugs.
Oh, the first two they confirmed.
I think probably meth.
The first two they confirmed it. We don't know about the new guy, which, I mean...
Yeah.
He barely seemed to hang out with him, so I don't know. But he seems... From the little we saw him.
Drugs are a hell of a drug, and Travis was the second husband. That was just...
Yeah, that was messed up.
Yeah.
Especially that one guy, the campaign manager, seeing it all or whatever, just being right there.
I can't imagine how scarring that must be.
Oh, God, yeah.
For that to happen. And I knew, like, I could tell when they cut to that shot, that surveillance camera shot, I knew that was going to happen. I was like, oh my God, I hope they aren't going to show somebody killing themselves in this Netflix show. But, man, that was just sad.
Yeah.
Just sad. Also, I need to know, I didn't look it up. Pancake probably knows if Creepy Dude is in jail now. Because
other tiger guy.
He definitely...
How could he not after this documentary came out? Unless, like, the state has laws, like 16's legal or whatever, but still weird.
Oh,
I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like he definitely should be in jail, but I also feel like gross, scummy people like that, and smart, know how to get out of consequences for their actions. So, like, I could see him having weaseled his way out of consequences for his actions. Which is really gross.
Yeah, for sure.
And I hate that.
Yeah. Yeah, the only really, there was, I'd say, okay, there was one I know is in the good light, but then there's two other potential that are also in the good light. So the one for sure, lion tamer, tiger, like the tiger caretaker, long hair guy, sunglasses.
Long hair guy.
No problem. He just wanted to take care of the tigers.
That's he was just there to take care of the tigers. Yeah. He was just trying to do a good thing, I feel like.
Then we had the guy with no legs. He's up there.
Yep.
He did have a stolen car, which was kind of sketch, but, you know, solid. Right. And then, I guess, technically, the one-arm girl who got her arm ripped off.
That was so strange to me.
Yeah. Like, she got...
Like, she seemed like an actually decent person with, like, half of a brain, but then also literally had her arm bitten off and then stayed in the hospital for, like, 2 days.
Yeah, and then went right back.
And went right back. I'm like... I just don't... It seems to me like she could be working for an actual, like, legitimate zoo or sanctuary or some place that's actually legitimate. It's strange to me that she just kept hanging out.
Yeah.
I mean, like, she could have done... It seemed like she could have done so much better, but...
Yeah, it's weird, too, because, like, as you get farther along in the series, you'll learn that Joe, like, had these outbursts of, like, anger and stuff. Like, why would you stay there? Like, I get it. Yeah. Like, he did one positive, like, taking ex-cons in who don't have anything. Like, that was very good. But, like, I don't know. There's got to be some point, because you saw how they live. You saw what they're eating, you know. Obviously getting paid diddly squat. Like, man, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to go back. I just got my arm ripped off. Let's go right back into the situation that got me into that. No, thank you. I don't know.
I mean, I don't have first-hand experience, obviously, in that kind of situation.
First-hand experience.
Okay. Poverty is very hard to escape, and abuse is very hard to escape, so it might just be those two things. But man, those people who seemed like they were just good people, it was just really sad that they were just stuck in that situation.
So, final thoughts. Would you recommend people watch this?
I would, because I feel like if I had to watch it and I have to live with that, then they do too.
Had to? You were the one who wanted to.
I did. I don't regret watching it. It will not make you feel good about life.
No.
You will not feel good after watching this show. Like, I was very entertained. I was very interested. But, like, if you want just like positive entertainment or like light entertainment, then no. If you're already stressed out, then no. But I understand why it's so popular. I'm glad we watched it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Also, okay, I'm sorry. Before we end this topic, I need to talk about Campaign Manager Man because I do not understand that human.
Okay.
He was just like so enthusiastic
Mm-hmm.
about life in general, it seemed like.
Mm-hmm.
And then so enthusiastic about Joe Exotic and like this man running for president. I just did not understand this man.
And
I don't understand him.
He didn't have any experience, first off. And second, Joe ran under the Libertarian Party, which the guy was a part of. And, like, I'm the worst person to ask what ideals or visions political parties stand for. But I think he mentioned, he's like, I don't think Joe knew what a libertarian was because he wasn't, like, matching some of the things.
So that was just very puzzling to me. That man was very puzzling to me. And I am just very curious. Like, I would watch a documentary about him specifically. Just him. Like, what is he doing now? Where does he live now? Like, did he find some other crazy person to help run for president?
Maybe.
I need to know.
Yes, apparently Nick Cage is going to play Joe Exotic in the actual movie. Yeah.
I didn't know they were making
Yeah, it got announced like earlier this week. Or it's like, why? First off, why are we getting a movie? Because money, I guess.
I mean,
we got the full story.
Make a lot of money. Yeah.
Second, man, this is gonna boost the shit out of Joe's ego, and he's gonna have some cash waiting for him. Oh wait, does he get out? If he ever gets out, just like, oh my god, it's so weird how dumb people sometimes get rewarded for dumb shit. Look at Honey Boo Boo. That was a thing for years.
People really do make a ton of money off of dumb shit. Also, I know that Nick Cage has already been cast. I would still make an argument for Rob Lowe.
Okay.
Because he already did I send you that picture? He already dressed up as Joe Exotic. Like, really? He did the full cosplay. It was amazing. And that alone should have gotten him a part in that movie, and I'm very disappointed.
Rip.
If you haven't looked that up, everybody listening to this should look up Rob Lowe dressed up as Joe Exotic, because it was amazing. And he even had the little stuffed tiger with him. It was great.
Nice. Yeah. I'm circling back. It's hard for me to say if I would recommend this or not, because it is interesting. It does make you shake your head like, what the fuck? It has that entertainment value that just makes you want to watch more. I think we watched it in maybe 2 days.
Yeah,
it's 7 episodes, like maybe an hour short each. So obviously isolation's going on. Hey, you got nothing but time. But yeah, like, do you need to watch it? Do you need to watch people be stupid? Do you need to waste your 7 hours? Like, I don't know. I'm 50-50 because, like, do I regret watching it? No, I don't think I hate it that much to regret watching it. I don't know if I hate it in general, but, like, would I actively put this upon somebody to watch? I just don't know.
Would you put it upon somebody?
There are so many other things I could recommend that either you'd like or you don't. It's just like, I don't know. If it intrigues you, if you enjoy stupid people, you enjoy documentaries in general, yeah, fuck it. It's short and sweet.
It was a good documentary.
It was well put together. It wasn't like one of those random ones.
Just, if you want to watch something where you hate nearly everybody in it, like if you don't mind hating everybody that you watch, then maybe watch it.
Yeah.
But if that bothers you, then don't watch it.
Yeah.
Overall, it's just a cringe. It's a cringe. It makes me very sad, mostly, that stuff goes on.
Yeah.
And people are so cruel to animals.
Mm-hmm. That
was probably the worst part of it, just that the animals are going through so much pain and suffering, and the people taking care of them don't seem to care at all. I mean, they're just a means to an end.
Right.
And so that was very hard to watch. So trigger warning for animal abuse. Like, they don't really show it graphically, but it's definitely there.
Yeah. Yep. All right. On to topic 2. Transition to a better show.
There's no good way to transition from that.
It's a much better show.
I mean,
much better show.
Better.
Yes. All right. We are about to debate and tier make the Office characters, ranking them from S, A, B, C, D. All right. So, Kate, you need to bring up your list. So, yes, we are tier making once again. I will be on the left. Kate will be on the right. So,
as you screen share.
How do you screen share? You did it before.
No, I need.
Oh yes, you need to screen share. They can see you right now, but yeah, you need to screen share.
Okay.
Okay. So, anyways, we are going to go through the Office characters because The Office is a great show. And we're just gonna tier rank our favorite the characters. So, in this list, we have. I'll list through them quickly. We got Michael Scott. We got Oscar Martinez. We got shit. I'm gonna be terrible at names.
That's why I'm not doing this.
We got the boss guy. We got Gabe. We got Jim. We got Kevin. We got, oh boy, second boss lady. We got. Why am I forgetting all these names now? We got Phyllis. We got British lady. We got Idris Elba's character. I'm sorry. We got New Kid 1. We got Mo. What was it, Mose? No, Mose isn't. That's
yeah, that's right.
It was? Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
We got security guard. Why? We got Todd Packer. We got
Stanley.
Thank you. We got Holly. We got Pam. I was going with a real name for a second. I was like, nope. We got Daryl.
I thought I was in a different order because I cannot believe that you would have Pam.
We got Daryl. We got
fake fan.
I am apparently a fake fan. Wow, this is terrible. Fucking Roy. We got Dwight. We got, oh god, why?
Angela?
What's up? Yes, Angela. We got Aaron / Kelly too. We got Bob Vance Refrigeration. We got Plop. We got Ultron. We got
AKA Lizard King.
We got Rashida Jones. We got Kelly. We got Ryan. We got hold on. Meredith. We got Man, why do I forget? Old man. We got Jan, we got Andy, we got
Creed.
Toby, Creed, thank you. And we got Will Ferrell, which nobody remembers his name.
That was a weird time in that show.
That was rough. Okay.
That was very rough.
If you're still here with us on the podcast, thanks. Character has the same name as the character. What?
Creed Bratton is actually the guy's name.
Oh, yeah. Some of them, yeah, that's their actual name. I know that. But, yeah, shut up, Jeff. This ain't actor game. It's The Office tier list. So, all right. So, how do we want to do this? I don't think we're going to go one for one, but maybe we assemble who's D, who's C. Or, sorry, who's D, talk about it. Who's C, talk about it. B, so on. Mm-hmm. Okay. Obviously, talk about it while you're doing it. Okay, who's making it bottom tier? Oh, no, I'm just kidding. All right.
I pulled up a list. D'Angelo.
D'Angelo. D.
That was
Okay.
a weird time in the show. His character was weird. Also, I'm just not a fan of Will Ferrell.
Oh, fair enough. He does have one. Okay, so two. Sorry, he's got two redeeming scenes. So the one where him and Michael first meet, and they're on the phone, literally 2 feet from each other. That's a great one. And then
That's pretty good.
the juggling one. I'm juggling off your face, Phyllis. Don't move.
Don't move.
That one's great. Have you seen it where someone's actually animated juggling balls into his hands?
No.
Oh my god,
my
it's
gosh.
fantastic. Yeah, you should definitely check that out. Let's see. So yeah, this list, obviously, whoever goes in those areas, guys, is just based on our personal preference. Like, it doesn't have to be story-wise they were bad or whatever. So you're kind of slacking over there. I'm racking up a list.
Oh, I didn't realize you were.
Yeah. So I'm saying like we're
talking about each one.
No. So like assemble your list if you want to talk about it while you make it, and then when we're done with D, we can quickly cover who we had, talk about why. Yeah. Sorry, my bad.
Okay. I understand.
Yeah, I got 6 people so far. Let's see. Who else? I'm tempted to put another person in here, but only because I don't like their character. Well, they're like a villain, but they're a good villain, so I think I should put them higher. You know what I'm saying? Like, they did a good job. Put you in there, though. I'll put you in there just because reasons.
Because reasons.
Yeah, put you in there. I got a lot down here. Be whittling my way.
That doesn't like anybody in the show.
I hate them all. That's why I couldn't name them. I've never actually seen this show.
I've never watched the show.
I never watched it, but that's why I made it top 2 on my binge watch over again list behind How I Met Your Mother. Oh, God. Waiting for those angry barrage of comments. Yeah, I think I'm good. What's up?
I think I'm ready.
You think you're ready? Oh, man.
I only have 4.
You have 4, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 9. Jeff says he actually can't watch The Office. I can't deal with people being awkward in TV or movies. I have to leave the room. So I will say this. They were awkward a little bit, especially first season. But I think once you get past that hurdle, you're good. Because, I kind of get what you're meaning, or what you're saying. Because when I first watched the show, I was like, I don't get it. Why are we talking to the camera so much? Like, I never realized it was a documentary at first either. I was just like, why are we just doing these breaking the fourth wall things? Like, what's going on?
Okay, I gotta add another one.
But when you understand why they're doing it, I'm like, oh, okay. And then have you ever gotten to the end of the show and you're like, I kind of wanted to see the whole documentary, but then you're like, wait, was this all the documentary? If so, how long did it air for? Because they aired it at the bar, or it was on the bar, and then like a year later they did the the press conference thing. It's like, wait a minute. How did that work out? Like, was it one compiled thing? Was it not? Like, I don't know. Watch 2 minutes of Scott's tots around them. That is a very tough to watch episode.
That's very cringy.
Yeah.
I don't know what the episode is called, where Jim and Pam go over to Michael's house for dinner.
The dinner party, and Jim tries to leave early, and then Pam's like, no.
I almost physically can't watch that episode.
Yeah, that one's a rough one. Look at my TV. All 15 inches.
Oh my. The front of the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
Yeah. But I get it. It's not everybody's cup of tea. All right. So I'm just going to quickly run down my characters, and I'll pass it over to you. So I got D'Angelo, Gabe, Roy, Jan, new guy 1 from Hot Tub Time Machine, Mose, Ultron, security guard, and Plop. That's who I got in there.
Yikes! I'm not gonna be able to remember anybody's name either.
Okay, so you got everybody I have except for you have Ryan and you have Todd Packer.
Yeah.
All right.
Because they're both gross. Don't get me wrong. Their performances were great.
Right. I hear you.
They were good villains.
Mm-hmm.
However, they were so gross.
Gotcha.
That I had to put them at the bottom because they were gross.
Yeah, Ryan, I was debating, but he wasn't actually the one I was talking about or hinting at earlier. Thinking about Ryan has some redeemable stuff or enjoyable stuff, I may say, that I think is going to bump him up in my list. Same with Packer. Like, not going to lie, I probably laughed at a few things more than I should have with his character. But yeah, the other three, like, Roy is a glimmer and sunshine of hope at one point when he realizes, hey, I fucked up. I should have been better to Pam. Things could have been better. And then he blows up at the bar when she mentions that she kissed him at the casino night, and like him and his cousin, I don't know.
I don't know.
Rage. And then the next episode he attempts to punch Jim and then Dwight saves him. Like, whoo, okay, yeah, that's like you were on the uphill, the tiny little bunny hill at the roller coaster, and then you just plummeted down to hell. Like, oh boy. So yeah,
Do you consider him redeemed at the end, though?
Oh shit!
When he marries somebody else.
Okay, hold on. I gotta put it into my memory. What? So you're talking the final episodes? Like the last...
I don't remember if it was one of the final episodes, but I think it's the last time he appears in the show when Jim and Pam go to his wedding to whoever it is that he's marrying.
I don't remember that.
And he like plays the piano and sings her a song and is like a nice person.
Okay, now little asterisks on the board here. I haven't fully paid attention and watched to The Office for a while.
Asterisk. I haven't watched
watched the show, so I have no idea what you're talking about.
I don't know who any of these people are.
Who's Roy? So like I've had it on like in the background while I'm doing stuff, or like I like to fall asleep to shows on, so I'll have that on. So my memory is hit or miss with episodes. Like, it's funny sometimes, like it seems like the same episodes are on when I'm going to sleep. It's like, oh, this one again. But then you get those rare occurrences where you wake up and it's a different episode and you're like, oh shit, I forgot this happened.
Oh shit.
I think that might be a point in my memory where I'm blanking on it right now. But if that sounds good. I don't know if that would fully redeem me for him. Like, I'm glad he moved on. I'm glad he had a life and whatever is the character. But, like, I don't know. Jeff thinks the show tried to kind of redeem him. Yeah. I don't know.
The show did.
Yeah, he was definitely the big villain, or at least for Jim, obviously, in season 1 and 2. And then, yeah, obviously the events transpired that I just mentioned. And, whoo, boy. Bye. So... yeah, he's on there. So why is the security guard on there? Is he just because he doesn't really in there all that much?
Yeah, just because. Okay, and I am now thinking that perhaps I should have put him higher because this man does not give a shit.
No, he doesn't.
About anybody else. Like, this man just doesn't care. He doesn't have any fucks to give. Yeah. And I'm gonna move him up one now because
promotion.
I appreciate that. This man doesn't even act like he cares. He just doesn't care, and that's how he lives his life. Mm-hmm. And I appreciate it. Yeah. I respect it.
Let's see. So, okay, I think you talked about all your guys while you have them in there. So, okay, Gabe is like cringe city for me. He's such an awkward character, and when him and Kelly are dating, or sorry, Aaron, my bad, are dating, it's so God. And I'm gonna talk about that probably later, but I thought Aaron should have had a different path, and when that happened, I was like, God, get out of this immediately. So yeah, Gabe was just a weird one. Jan, I mean, she's the villain. She's a good villain, but man, she's got so many awkward scenes. Like you mentioned, the house party and the singing, and obviously she got the daughter, like,
oh
Astrid.
my god,
it's just like,
yep.
Yeah, it was just cringe city whenever she came on, especially down the road.
She has huge boobs though.
She does. New Kids
Not
on the.
That's a redeeming quality. She just. That's a plot
You know what?
point.
She's going to S. No, just kidding.
Her boobs are going to S.
You just moved up a guy because he doesn't give a fuck. New Kids on the Block. You know, the more I watch that final season, they're fine. They're fine.
Mm-hmm.
I can remember one redeemable, not redeemable, good moment for each of them. Mm-hmm. Hot Tub Time Machine Kid. It's funny when he's sacrificed over to Jan.
Oh my god.
To make that paper sale. That is hilarious.
Yes. And he loses like months of his life just living in like an alternate reality with Jan.
And then Plop, his name was Jim too, or maybe, I don't know, whatever the story of the nickname was. He had one good episode where they took all the complaint cards and he was making them into the tower.
Yeah. His name is Pete.
Pete, thank you, Pete. So, yeah, I liked that episode and I liked how he kind of like was chipping in with Kevin. Obviously was the teamwork of all of them. And then Pam gets her first complaint because she does the your mama joke.
Oh my god.
And then it turns out that the mom passed away.
That was this show. It's so good, but it's honestly hard to watch.
Wow.
It's hard to watch.
Really selling it today, not knowing characters. It's hard to watch. Oh boy. So yeah, that's why they're low on my list. The Dwight's cousin, he's there. I think the only good thing I like about him is the finale where he does the bar thing. And then Ultron, fucking Spader, James Spader's character. He's like this hard ass boss when he first shows up and like mind games the fuck out of everybody. And then,
are you talking about Robert California?
Yes, Robert California, thank you.
AKA the Lizard King.
And then I can't remember. I think it's when David bought it back. David Wallace. Now I'm remembering his character's name.
Oh yeah.
Somebody bought it. I think it was when he bought it back, and then he just kind of turned into this like creepy schmuck, and just like peaced out.
Yeah, he is kind of a creepy schmuck.
Yeah, so he's bottom tier for me. So. Moving on to C. Okay. Oh, Robert California. Yep.
Yeah, I'm going to put him in C tier only for that one speech he gave where he said, "I'm the fucking Lizard King." Otherwise, he would be bottom tier if not for that, because I found that so hilarious and obviously it has stuck with me.
Fair enough.
So that's why he's C tier.
All right. Speaking of C tier, let's build our C tier list, shall we? Oh boy. All right. You're going up there. You're going up there. Who else we got going on here? Who else we got? I think you move on, even though I mentioned you before. Oh, you're definitely up there. Move you there. Move you there. Oh man. Now I'm thinking about like individual moments that I liked about the characters, and one just came to mind for Angela, and I just couldn't hold it in. Man, this is gonna be a rough once we only got three tiers left, but yeah, I think I gotta start just putting people on the chopping block. Whoa, B's going like uber C tier.
Hot takes.
Hot takes and pancakes. Are you all set with your list over there?
I don't know if they're hot takes, but they're takes.
Okay.
So I think I'm good.
Okay, you can start. Go ahead.
Okay, well, I already talked about the first two that I have there.
Mm.
Gabe is creepy as hell.
Yeah.
However, he goes along with the cringy humor of the show. Like, I don't know. I physically cringe when I watch his parts in the show, but I also enjoy them. And he's so weird and off the wall in a way that I find funny.
Gotcha.
Okay, next I have Jo.
Jo, yep.
She's all right. Like, she's a badass woman.
Mm-hmm.
She has those 3 huge dogs.
Yeah.
But, like, that's kind of what I appreciate about her character. That's kind of it.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, she's all right.
Mm-hmm.
What is this guy's name?
Charles.
He's kind of a jerk.
Kind of. Absolutely.
He's like really only a jerk. But like it's Idris Elba, so that's why he's C tier instead of D tier.
Okay.
Which isn't really a great reason, but like he's a good looking man, so.
Oh, okay.
That's
Jan going S tier.
You never did remember this guy's name, did you?
No, Hot Tub Time Machine Kid.
Yep, which I also haven't seen that movie, so
don't. It's a waste of time.
He's funny, but like he's not a huge part of the show.
Yeah, he's only in there the last season, I think. Maybe 2.
But I appreciate his character. He just didn't make that big of an impact.
For sure.
Same with Mose.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's really funny. And I just keep picturing I think it's at the end. I don't know. I think it's the very last episode where people are driving in and he's just like running next to the car. Just like full speed.
Yeah.
Jan is a horrible person, but is also cringy in a way that I appreciate. Like, the reason that I appreciate the show is because it's so cringy and she really like leans into it. Mm-hmm. Holy cow, that actress leaned into this character and did a really good job. So I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I think that's all I had to say about her. Mm-hmm. And then Meredith is like sometimes cringy in a way that I appreciate, sometimes cringy in a way that I don't appreciate.
Yeah, I get that.
Like, she's kind of just really all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it just wasn't my sense of humor.
Gotcha. All right, so let's see. So I had Todd Packer in there because I already mentioned I got a couple of his jokes. I put Ryan in there. So the one thing I liked about Ryan when the Michael Scott Paper Company was a thing, like obviously him and Pam were button heads for that sales job type thing. But I did like when they were all working together on the cheese puff tossing opening. Uh-huh. And the other, like, when they actually sold the company and they're all like freaking out, like, we could get more money, we could do this. And they're all like friends. So I like that about him. But yeah, the ending where he's got the kid and then him and Kelly run off. Oh God, I hated it. And that's why that's why Kelly's in my bottom. Like, she's dumb. She's just obviously stupid decisions with Ryan. I don't know. I think there's maybe one episode I liked with Kelly. Okay, there was that one where Jim and Dwight had poor customer reviews and it affected like a bonus that they were supposed to get or whatever. Uh-huh. And it only happened because they forgot Kelly's birthday.
Right.
Or didn't go to a party of hers.
Didn't go to a party.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think it was even her birthday. It was like a watch party.
There was another one. Yeah, there was one. That one specifically was the watch party they didn't go to. And then there was another one they forgot her birthday. and then they let her take like an hour nap in the break room or something like that. So yeah, I don't know. She's just like, that's another example, like you said with Jan, of an actress doing really well in that role or like committing to it. Because obviously Mindy Kaling's not like that, but yeah, just did not like Kelly at all.
I also appreciate, while we're just talking about Mindy Kaling,
mm-hmm.
she was a writer on the show.
Yeah.
She did a lot of writing for the show. And I don't know, her sense of humor is my sense of humor, and I just appreciate her talent.
Gotcha. I had Meredith and Creed on here just because they were kind of like support. Like, yeah, there's a couple laughs, but like, yeah, they're nothing memorable, really. Same with... what is your name? British lady.
Hold on, I have it. Vamp while I find it.
She's from Britain, and she tries... Nellie, thank you. So Nellie originally comes in as a villain, like evil boss type thing. Then she like somehow gets to be boss, then immediately loses the bosshood when Michael comes back or something. I don't remember.
Well, she takes it from Andy.
Takes it from Andy, right.
She just like decides.
And then Andy gets it back or something.
At some point he does. It really...
Yeah, because he decides to keep her on his sales. Because it was this big redemption thing when David Wallace was there, and then he was just gloating. He's like, I'm going to get rehired this day, and like the whole time. But he did a whole spiel about it.
When he dresses up as a custodian.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
You know what? Speaking of Andy, I got to add him to C. I got to add him to C tier. He's got a lot of good in those early seasons, like him punching the wall is hilarious.
Yep.
And then he does so good. He's like doing his little you know, his whole singing thing and stupid
Which you
comedy.
sing at me a lot.
I do, because I don't watch this show. He does the hardcore parkour. He does the stupid jokes. But then, like, when he becomes boss, like, something happens to his character that just turns into this asshole at times. And I mentioned Erin earlier, how I thought Erin should have had a different path. In the end, she ends up with Pete. But I thought her and Andy originally, I was down for that. But then Andy kind of just turns into a butthole, and you're like, no, what are you doing?
Yeah, I think a lot of people have that problem. I don't know what the show did to his character. It was a weird decision.
Yeah, and he like bounces back in the finale, which is great, and like that's a victory, but man, he just they did something.
Yeah, it was really rough.
Yeah. I got Toby in here just because it's fucking Toby. And then I put Rashida Jones' character in here too. She just, I don't know, didn't really.
Karen?
Yes, Karen. I don't know. I just never really liked Karen. I think okay, I liked one episode where her and Phyllis went on the sales thing as a team.
Yeah.
And they got the fucking whatever you call it. I'll get up. But yeah, I like that. He didn't turn into a butthole until after they had the power, right? I'm pretty sure, yeah. He had, so Jeff, he had two? He was, okay, he punched the wall, went to anger management originally. He was kind of a dick at the beginning. He was trying to be a playboy. Not sure if you remember that episode. He asked Jim who he should hook up with. And Jim told him he should go after Pam and just told him everything opposite that she didn't like as a prank. Him with Angela, I don't think he was a bad guy. He was just oblivious as hell.
I felt so bad for him in that situation.
Yeah, I don't think he turned until, he was boss role. Because he even kind of cheered for him getting the boss role. Like, he didn't feel qualified and whatever. And I don't remember, it was Daryl or somebody was like, no, you can do this or whatever. But yeah, then once he got it, just like something happened to a character. And it wasn't every episode he was a bad guy. It was just like the points you remember with Aaron or him just randomly quitting to go onto a boat and sail in the ocean. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my C tier list. So we move it on to B tier here. B tier here. All right. I just put 3 bosses up there. Wow, I'm surprised she made it up so high in this list. Put you up there. Oh shit, might not have anybody left for S&A.
Turns out Brett hates everybody in the show.
I haven't watched this show. Shit, yeah, I have. Yeah, I'm down to 5 for this last 2. Oh boy.
I think I'm good.
You think you're good? Okay. You want me to go first?
There's a lot of people in beer tier. B tier.
Beer tier.
C tier too.
What's up, Dio? You want me to go first this time, or you want to go first?
You can go first.
All right. So B tier, I got. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got 11 people.
Oh,
ruined it. No, I'm just kidding. Go to presentation.
Nope,
mode.
I didn't.
Go to presentation mode.
Where's presentation? Oh god.
Right there.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Woo!
There you go. Saved it.
Okay,
Oh,
we
did it
saved
save it? Where's your D tier?
Oh shit. All right. Well, you talk about yours. I'll reconstruct.
Right. So I got 11 people in here. So okay, we talked about Idris Elba. We got Charles' character. Charles did a really good job, or Idris did, of being a guy I just hated. But he, like, how he's introduced, he was so good. But then, yeah, he's just like straight shooter and doesn't take shit from Jim. And remember the first episode? Jim tries to introduce himself. He's wearing a tuxedo. He's trying to mess with Dwight. There's that one. There's the soccer game. And then later on, he doesn't work at the office anymore, but he's still at the company, and it's the volleyball tournament. And he's just shit-talking Jim the entire time. So I have him up here. It's like one of those mixes. Like, you hate to cheer the bad guy, but I think he does such a good job of it that he's up there.
Yeah, he does.
We mentioned Jo before. She's awesome. I like how she's also no shit. Like, just takes nothing, and yeah, she's good. David, I like as well too. He's got a couple redeeming scenes. He's got a funny one where he sold the company, but Michael goes to visit him at his house, and his kid's like rocking out on the drum set.
Yep.
And
then he creates Suck It.
Yeah, he does create Suck It. I had Bob Vance from Vance Refrigeration just because B. I had Holly there.
You have Holly in B tier?
I have Holly in B tier. Now, I like Holly. I like her a lot. I don't know if she's my favorite character though.
Mm-hmm.
Do I cheer for her with Michael? Yeah, absolutely. Like, no doubt about it. I don't know. There's just some things I'm just like, doesn't always. She doesn't strike me as my like upper favorites of characters, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah. So nothing really against her. It's just like when I think of the show, she doesn't come to mind first off.
Mm-hmm.
I think like okay. This was the one that surprised me that I honestly was like, oh shit, I probably should put you lower. Angela. Like most of the show, she's just like angry and whatnot. Like she's a Debbie Downer.
Whatnot.
I think there's two things that make it better, and sadly one of them's the finale. It's just like that upswing of her and Dwight's wedding. But
yeah, that was a big upswing, but it was also the very last episode.
Yeah. And then the scene I told you about, or I talked about earlier, where I couldn't stop laughing, or couldn't hold it back, was the fire drill. Where she throws the cat into the sea.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I feel like that might be me.
Probably.
Like, I probably would just have tons of cats, and like I would definitely have a cat in the office.
Your office cat. Let's see. Phyllis also makes B tier. She's great throughout. There was one episode where she said something really mean. I think it was to Pam.
Pam, I think.
Yeah. And I was like, that is
I think she said, close your mouth, you look like a trout.
Yeah. It was that.
Yeah.
And I was like,
that's what I put her in B tier too. And I was like, wow,
this is not your character at all. And I was just like, oh,
yeah,
God.
It was weird.
Yeah.
It was weirdly mean.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, she's hilarious the rest of the series. Daryl's up there. So Daryl's kind of like, not no show, but just kind of like super background early seasons, and then he shows up later, obviously. I like I like how he left and didn't tell anybody. And then when he gets discovered, when he comes back, he's like, oh, hey. And then they have the dance party, which is great. The road trip episode was great with him too.
Yep.
How he's like awkwardly trying to talk on the phone when Holly and Michael are breaking up. And then the blues on the way back. That's good.
So hard to watch. Oh boy.
Oh, and then him, Andy, and Kevin jamming. Like Andy wanted to redeem himself and make a band, and he was gonna pay him. And then they were on a roll, and Daryl's like, "No, let's just keep playing, man." Kevin's up there too for similar reasons. He's funny. But yeah, I wouldn't say favorites. Oscar's up there. He's got a couple redeemable moments. Not the most standout character. And then Stanley's hilarious. I think he's only down a peg just because, some like the negativity, from time to time.
Stanley, well, I guess I can talk about Stanley when I get to where I'm going to put him.
Well, it's your turn for B tier anyway, so go for it.
Well, I don't have Stanley in B tier. I'm going to put him higher than B tier.
Yeah.
And let me tell you why now, before I do it, because we're already talking about him. Because I feel like Stanley is me in the future.
Okay. An old black man?
Yes.
Wow. Okay. All right. Good to know.
He just doesn't care.
No. He does not.
And I appreciate that. Unless it's, what is it, Pretzel Day?
Yeah, Pretzel Day.
Then that man cares.
Mm-hmm.
But he is like looking for 5 o'clock. He is out the door. Like,
yep.
He has a very strong wall between work and home life. And this man always wants to be on vacation. And I feel like that's me.
Even the work trip down to Florida, he's all like gussied up.
Yeah.
He's got the sports car and he tells Jim to get in. Yep.
He's just on a vacation the entire time. I just feel like he's me in the future, and I really appreciate that. And also, when they debate if he has a mustache or not, is one of my favorite moments of the entire show.
What do you mean? I sit across from him all day, and I don't even know.
I don't even know.
I will say one of my favorite scenes with him, how you're talking about like he doesn't give a shit, when they bring in the new people from the other branch. I don't remember what branch it is, but the accountant guy, who also happens to be black, does the whole fist pump like brother thing, and Stanley just like rolls his eyes and like fuck off.
I also like when he goes on a tear of like he'll start saying something really seriously, then he'll say, "and shove it up your butt" at the end.
Yep. or did I stutter? Or he just yells at Michael that one.
Yep.
And they just agree to just do their own thing after Toby tells Michael to tell him to like.
Yep. Like, this man has strong boundaries.
Oh yeah.
And I respect it. I respect it. Okay, so let me talk about my B tier.
Yep.
Briefly, because some of them you also had in B tier for similar reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Nellie, I really go back and forth on her character, because in the beginning I just like couldn't stand her. I actually, the first time I was ever watching this show, I stopped watching for a while after her character was introduced because I couldn't stand her. But then I went back and finished it, and I feel like she really gets redeemed.
For sure.
And then she's very lovable and like a very genuine character and person. So she might be higher, but just because I couldn't stand her in the beginning. Toby, obviously the Scran Strangler.
The thing he
Clearly
latches on too, because it's the only interesting thing.
I mean, he is, like, fight me. He totally is.
Right.
But other than that,
wait, you think he is?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't pick up. Oh.
I think he is. And I think, so he is the Scran Strangler. He was on the jury.
The jury for it.
The man who didn't do it, which is why the guy attacks him when he goes to visit him in prison. Also why he goes to visit him in prison.
Wow. Okay. That...
I stand by. I stand by it. I fully believe.
That change... If that's true, that changes my perception about him a lot. Because, like... Because Toby, like I said, he's not not my favorite character, but I thought he was just this awkward dude who just, socially awkward. And then at the end, it's kind of nice. Like, he talks, they, like, invite him out. He's like, oh, yeah, I'll go, kind of thing. But if he is, then, like, whoa, okay, we gotta look into that. Like, there's some bonus features on some DVD or something. Like, I need some backstory. Because, yeah, that never crossed my mind. Like, I thought he was so, like, because it makes sense. Because I thought he was so invested in it because he was intrigued because he kept reading the paper and stuff. But also, like, it was the only interesting thing that was happening to him that people were talking with him about. So I thought he was getting, like, excited for that. Like, people care about me now kind of thing. And that's why I kind of latched onto it. But then on the other side of the coin, if what you're saying is true and he is the Scranton Strangler, then he's getting excited because he's getting away with it, but also because all this media, once again, about him, like, oh my God. Fuck. Okay, yeah, we need to look that up. Because that...
And as far as I know, like, this is just a fan theory. I don't think it's ever been...
Oh, bullshit.
Like,
okay.
There's no extra footage that, like, confirms.
Jeff's like, oh, the Toby is the Strangler theory? Yeah, I didn't know about this.
Like, it's just a theory. However, I totally believe it. Like, I can totally see it.
That's fucked up.
And if he is, I feel like the show did a really good job. Because it could be either way. Like, it could be either of those scenarios that you explain. Either one could be true and plausible.
Man,
but I choose to believe that he is the Scran Strangler.
I don't want to say they'll ruin the show for me, but God, that definitely puts a fucking damper on it. I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight. I'm exhausted.
Oh my gosh.
That just blew my mind.
Up at like 4 a.m. Like feverishly Googling.
I never thought of that. That never crossed my mind. This just shows me how oblivious I am to everything. Oh, that guy's totally hitting on that girl. What? Vice versa. What? Oh, they totally banged. What? Like, come on. I didn't. What? You know how long it took me to understand that the camera panning off of a couple meant they were banging? Forever!
Wow. I don't know what to say about that.
I'm an idiot. That's all I have to say.
That's all I have to say. So, I'm so glad that you didn't think about that before.
No.
Can they see your face right now?
Oh yeah, they can.
Okay, good.
Unless they're listening on SoundCloud.com/user numbers.
With audio only listeners.
Or podcast services around.
I'm so glad to have blown your mind today with this information. So, anyways,
back to the rest of the list.
back to what we were talking about.
Who else do you want to freaking just tell me? Oh, well, actually, this was happening. Like, Creed was supposed to be the only criminal here, just hanging out. You want to blow my mind with the other coworker that worked at the office, but we never saw him until Michael had to lay somebody off. That was
I also
dumb.
have Creed in B tier.
Yeah.
Because Creed is like, who the hell knows what this man does?
Quality assurance.
Yes. I just find him so interesting.
Dos Equis.
Especially the Halloween episode where he shows up and his clothes are all covered in blood and he's just like, well, that was very convenient.
Yeah. Wait, it's Halloween? Oh.
Oh, good. So I don't know what this man does, but I just don't know. He's an unknown quantity. So I agree with the character.
Another scene of Creed's that I love is the white elephant Christmas, or I think it's where he gives Jim the sweater, and Jim's like, you should just pick this out of his closet, and he's like, you said that?
I have Karen in B tier. I feel like Karen gets so much hate for stealing Jim, and I'm putting that in air quotes, which nobody can see. Right. This woman was just living her life.
Yeah.
Like, she met Jim and she liked him. Like,
right.
She was just trying to live her best life. And I feel like people hate her. I also feel like people hate the boom mic guy that Pam talks to.
Oh, that was one episode. And I like that guy.
I know. People really seem to hate him too.
Why? He stepped in to protect her from ?
Yeah, I don't know. People don't like him.
Okay.
They seem to think that he was trying to break up Jim and Pam. Whatever.
Oh.
Karen is just a woman trying to live her life and gets caught in the middle of a crappy situation.
For sure.
And so I like her character. I like that she ends up moving up in the company later when we see her later and she's like successful and happy. So I like her. Yeah.
I like when she first moves to the office and Jim tells her to do the Italian accent for her recording.
Oh,
Karen Piscatelli. And then as soon as he walks away, she's like, Karen Piscatelli. Just like says it normally.
Also, it's Rashida Jones, and she is a beautiful land mermaid.
All right.
So, and everybody should watch Parks and Rec. Also,
that's a whole different tier list that I don't know anyone's name for. For sure.
Also should, first we need to fully watch the show.
Yeah.
So you will have fully watched the show, and then we need to come back
fully watch the show
and do another tier list for Parks and Rec.
I fully watched the show. It's just
you fully watched the show, but every time I make
I watched it maybe once or twice. I haven't watched it as many times as The Office. We need to go back and refresh. I haven't watched as many times as How I Met Your Mother. Clearly.
Yeah. We need to go back and refresh before we before we do our podcast
Fair
on
enough. Apparently, Jeff, they rewatch Parks and Rec every couple months. Nice.
I mean, it's a great show.
Excuse me.
A lot of these other people you talked about, David Wallace, I feel like just really gets himself caught in a lot of shit. But he's like an okay person.
Yeah.
I feel like he's just trying to do his best. And then he creates Suck It, and I think that that's hilarious.
Nice. All right, A tier time.
So he's kind of a generic character, but he's just like a good person.
Yeah.
Phyllis would be higher, except for that one really weird moment that you already talked about. That honestly just kind of permanently turned me off to her character.
Wow, that's early on too.
Yeah. Andy really makes me laugh, but the places that they took his character is really weird.
Yeah.
And then at the end when he goes on that like American Idol ripoff show and cries on it, that's another part of that show that I almost physically can't watch.
Yeah, that was
because
weird.
It's so cringy. I feel like that's worse than Scott's Tots. That's harder for me to watch. It's it's hard to watch. And I think the other ones we kind of talked about.
Yeah. Cool. A tier. Those of you looking at my screen, you might say, Brett, you're just going with the generic public of who your S tier is because you're smart. And I'd say, yeah, I'm pretty basic, so oops. Well,
I guess we should just create both since we're...
All right. Well, I'll talk about my A tier because I assume you're going to have more than I do. So A tier, I got Dwight and I got Aaron. So Aaron's a weird one because I just like Ellie Kempler. I like her a lot. She's
really funny.
Yeah, she's hilarious. So I like her. I think the only thing Kemper. Thank you, Jeff. I think the only thing I didn't like about her character in this series is I talked about the Andy dynamic. I wanted them to be together. Is there's one episode where Andy and her are supposed to go on their first date and Aaron's sick and then Andy goes to her house to, hang out with her anyway. And she's living with her foster brother, and they're like real awkward together.
Very awkward.
That was cringe for me, and I'm like, what the fuck? So so that I think that's the only negative towards her character, really. Other than that, she's funny as the receptionist. The Kelly thing, mentioning that her name is Kelly and then never talking about it again, was just stupid. The Halloween episode where she's dressed up as a dog and Dwight makes some joke. She's like, no, I'm gonna pee. That's hilarious.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
I appreciate you're talking about your A tier, right?
Yeah, I'm talking about A tier right now. Yeah.
Okay. I have her in A tier too.
Nice.
I appreciate when she goes to Florida and she's living with that old woman.
Mm-hmm.
And there's just this moment specifically where she made her soup, but she said she just boiled some Gatorade. It's like, oh my god.
I mean, it works.
There's just some things that make me say yikes that she does, but she's so funny.
Yeah. There was another thing that I'll count as a negative towards her, and I get why they did it story-wise. It made sense, but also it seemed a little forced or sketch. So at the very end, she finds her parents. That to me seemed weird because, like, oh, conveniently, like, that could be anybody just coming up and be like, I'm your mom, I'm your dad, kind of thing. Like, just because this, like, I don't know how big the thing was, obviously, but, like, that was a little... I get it story-wise, but...
You wanted it to be a heartwarming moment, but there's just enough of, like, that's kind of weird and convenient.
Yeah, exactly.
where it
Which,
couldn't quite be, I think, what they were going for. Like, it just couldn't quite get
yeah,
there.
like I think it's more of a redeeming thing when her and her dad are dancing at the wedding.
Mm-hmm.
Where'd you learn how to dance? I don't know. They're both doing the same move. Yeah, like I think that's better than the whole press conference thing. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, that was, I don't know, but yeah, I love her character. I love her. And then last one I had for A tier was Dwight. So Dwight's one of those characters that grows on you, and I never thought I would like Dwight, but he has those moments of obviously laugh out loud moments, whether it's just him being him, bullheadedness, and not
Mm-hmm.
like things going over his head or whatever, or just the crazy methodologies, I guess you could say, that he lives by or acts by. But then also he has these really sincere and caring moments. Like there's
Yeah.
one, I think it's when Karen's there, and like it's not Karen's fault at all. It's just like the situation Pam realizes like she loves Jim, but obviously Jim has moved on at this point, and she's crying about it in the
Mm-hmm.
hallway, stairway, whatever. And Dwight just comes up and is like, doesn't know anything that's going on, just sits down, lends support. I think he holds her hand, or maybe just puts his hand on her shoulder. It's the second one. Does that, and then there's another
But there are
episode.
some heartfelt moments sprinkled in
Mm-hmm.
to his character.
Yeah, and then at the very end, like they wrap it all in a nice, neat bow, where he's like, "Pam's my friend." Like he went on like, this person's this person's this person's
Yeah.
this. Like, yeah, just like I never. You see it, but you never think about it until they say it, or at least that was for me. Like, oh shit,
Mm-hmm.
you know? Yeah, they did have that. So yeah, those are my A tiers. It was just those two.
Only two.
Only two.
So I also have Oscar in A tier.
Okay.
I just think his character is really funny.
Mm-hmm.
And also has some very sincere moments as well, which I appreciate. I also have Pete in A tier.
Wow. Okay.
He's not even in the show that much,
Right.
but the way he treats Aaron makes me like him
Gotcha.
a lot. And he's just such a funny and like good-hearted guy.
Mm-hmm.
I just liked him a lot.
Okay.
As a person, enough to put him in A tier.
Cool.
Stanley, obviously A tier. I've already talked about it because he's me in the future.
Mm-hmm.
I also have Pam in A tier. She's not my favorite character.
Okay.
She's a good character, but she's not my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
She waffles around a lot
Mm-hmm.
in the beginning of the show and hurts a lot of people's feelings because she's waffling back and forth.
Jeff says you can be a little selfish. I could get that. I could see that.
I agree that she can. I feel like it works out with Pam and Jim in the end.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Pam is the best person for Jim. Obviously, they made it work.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I feel weird commenting on their relationship, even though it's not a weird relationship. Like, it's not real, but I still feel weird commenting on it. I just feel like they weren't the best together.
Okay.
Pam's kind of selfish. She doesn't really know what she wants.
All
She
right.
kind of comes into her own as the show goes along.
Yeah.
She's just not my favorite. I don't know exactly how to articulate it.
Mm-hmm.
But she's just not my favorite.
Fair enough.
I think that's what I have to say.
Hi, Artemis.
Artemis has things to say.
Come on in, buddy.
Hello.
Yes, I did see that,
Kevin,
Joe.
I also have. Kevin is also an A tier just because he's hilarious, and that's pretty much it. I just find him hilarious.
Nice. Jeff mentioned the actresses who played Pam and Angela started a podcast during quarantine about their time in the office. And John Krasinski was on and said he still has a teapot. That's cool. And that
That is really cool.
the note was actually just his words to her about working with her. Oh, cool.
Oh.
Very nice.
Yeah, I can't remember what her name is, the actress who plays Pam, but she's hilarious. Like, she's great.
Yeah. I think it's Jen something.
Jenna Fisher.
Thank you. There you go.
She's great.
Angela Kitsch is Angela, right? Jenna Fisher. Thank you, Jeff. I don't know. But yeah, I like how they're friends IRL. That's great.
Angela Kinsey.
Kinsey. Damn it. I was close.
Is Angela.
Where was
yeah, they're great.
She used to be married to James Gunn? What? No way. Okay, cool. All right. Well, S tier. So I'll go. So I had 3. 2 of us we match. But I'll talk about Pam just because you were going with that. So I put Pam in S tier kind of for a couple of reasons you brought up. So you mentioned like she doesn't know what she wants to do. I think that's a very relatable trait for Pam that makes me like her more. Because, yeah, there's definitely moments in Steel even now. I'm like, I don't know what I want to do, or I'm second guessing myself or whatever. So the whole art thing that she tries to do for schooling and her stressing about it over there, I connect with. You mentioned her coming into her own as the seasons grow. I mentioned Michael Scott's paper company. Like, she really grows a lot in there as a support system for Michael, but also herself being a saleswoman, taking that jump, and even like leaving for that originally. Like, she was fed up with Charles, and decided to take that step for herself.
I agree with that.
Let's see, what else is there? The end where she flips it around on Jim, like, okay, you supported me, now it's time to support you and what you want to do with that sports company, and let's move to Texas type thing. I really enjoyed. So yeah, talking about her and Jim, I think there was only one real moment of their relationship where I was like, uh-oh, or cringe. And I think they had to do it to make the ending more positive feelings, I guess, or that good feeling, like they're gonna make it type thing. They went to that marriage counseling thing, and there was that one episode the whole time they were just like, I appreciate that you said this. I appreciate that. And it was just like,
yeah.
Oh my God, it's not working. Like, it's just like, oh, like, yeah. So.
And then, oh my gosh, that guy that we can't remember his name comes in and is like, I don't know what you guys are smoking.
Yeah.
But to speak my truth.
Yeah.
I would appreciate
because he's sitting right there. Yeah.
If you shared some of that.
Yeah, Hot Tub Time Machine Kid. But yeah, I really enjoy Pam, as a character. And then I guess we'll go right into Jim saying he's on both of ours. Like, Jim's probably the main character, right? Like, he's got to be.
I think pretty much.
Yeah. So I just love his progression as a character for like, this is just a job to, not it's his lifestyle and he's dedicated to it, but like there's moments where, he gets serious with it. Like, even though it goes shittily, but him meeting Charles, like he wants to be better. Him semi becoming boss or like co-captain to Michael and Dwight, second in command rather, as David Wallace calls him, and stuff like that. He takes things more seriously and kind of picks up stuff, but also him going after Pam, just the genuine things he does for her and actions, and then obviously the finale with Dwight, just like, even though he's messing with Dwight for all this time, like he knows, like he's his friend and he loves him and he wants to make sure everything's awesome for him. So the bazooka shooting, the going to the bar because he knows like you got to make things right with Kevin, making Michael the official best man and getting Michael there, at the end is awesome. So yeah, Jim's great. I can't.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of a negative for Jim's character, something that I didn't like, but I'll have to ponder it if you want to go about why you put Jim in S tier.
I mean, my reasons are pretty much the same as yours.
Mm-hmm.
I also think he's one of the funniest characters.
Mm.
I'm trying to decide if I don't think he's the funniest character, but he's definitely one of the funniest characters.
Gotcha.
And I don't know. I feel like I don't have that much more to add beyond what you already said.
Gotcha. All right. Want to talk about Michael? Why'd you put Michael up in S tier?
Because, well, okay, he probably is the funniest character.
Okay.
I think. He's just, I don't know, until they wrote him off the show or he left. Yeah. He really made the show.
Right.
Like, I feel like he, for a while, was the main character.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just so funny and cringy, and Steve Carell is so committed to the bit at all times.
Yeah.
And he's just great. Like, he's, at least in the beginning, he's like the point of the show.
Yeah.
And why people started watching, and why some people stopped watching because they thought it was too much. But I guess it was to my sense of humor.
Yeah, he's great. There's just like many of these characters, a lot of scenes that you can definitely pick up or just think of. Like, that was a good one. Like, obviously the Prison Mike one is great. You got him and Dwight, the music video that they have for that meeting.
Yep.
God, what else is there? Okay, this was an episode I totally forgot about for a while, but it was one of those nights I woke up and I was like, oh yeah, this is a thing. There was so we just broken up with the real estate girl. Carol, I think her name was. Baskin?
Who is his wife in real life?
Oh, was it? Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're married too. They still are.
Huh, that's awesome. But yeah, they broke up, and then Jim and Dwight and some other people took him out, or maybe it was just those two, took him out to like a Chinese restaurant, and they picked up the waitresses and brought them back to the holiday party.
Oh my god.
And he got so wasted that he couldn't remember which one was his. So the whole night he's going back and forth and like staring at him like,
Oh my god. Yep.
And then yeah, I honestly tear up right at the end when he does show up as the best man. And he says so little in that episode compared to everybody else.
He does. Mm-hmm.
And it's probably that way on purpose, but like, man. Oh, okay. Another amazing scene is when I think it's when he leaves. Yeah, it is when he leaves. When he's leaving, but he didn't tell anybody that he's leaving. But Jim finds out right at the end. And Jim does the like, I'll see you tomorrow. And like Michael's holding back tears. And then he never got to say bye to Pam. But then Pam runs out at the airport. And they like that's another tear-jerking moment. Like, that was great. And then yeah, obviously him and Holly are great together. And at the end, him showing off the kids to Pam and whatnot and talking about it is great. And yeah, he definitely grows as a character because, yeah, as you mentioned in the beginning seasons, like, he's the draw, but there's a lot that's like, oh my god, what are you doing? Like, it's funny, but it's bad that it's funny, you know? Like, ew.
It is really bad. Yeah. It's real bad.
Yeah.
But he also has such a good heart, which is why it's not just miserable to watch.
Right.
In which I think some people think that it is just miserable to watch, but like, he's such an inconsiderate jerk in the beginning, but like, he's not doing it on purpose.
Mm.
And I feel like there's enough of that in his character that he actually cares about people and has a good heart, and that's what makes it funny and like fun to watch instead of just hating him.
Mm.
And I also have Holly in S tier because I just love her and I love them together, and she's just so perfect for him and has such a good heart, and they just make me happy, and she makes me happy, so that's why she's an S tier.
That's good. And you got some other ones.
Is that all that you have?
I only
can't
had
see
the
your
three.
screen.
Yeah, I only had the three.
Okay, so I also have Dwight in S tier because he's so funny and also has enough of those moments of actually being a genuine, like, caring and good person that once again, for a while you feel like maybe he's just a jerk, but then there's enough of it to where you realize that he's not just a jerk, and he's also hilarious, and there's just so many, like when Jim and Pam, when Jim's not there and they have that other guy come in and they convince Dwight that Jim is actually an Asian man, and they like retake all their family photos and he's like doubting his entire reality. It's great.
Yep. Yeah, it just made me
so I think he's one of the funniest characters.
Made me think of the Super Desk episode. Can I just make Super Desk again? No.
No. I also have Bob Vance Refrigeration in S tier.
Okay.
And he's not even a major character, really. But the way that he loves Phyllis and how much he loves Phyllis, that's why he's in S tier. Like, when he bids $1,000
for the hug
to give her a hug, I was just like, I want somebody to love me the way that he loves Phyllis. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like you would bid $1,000 to give me a hug. Maybe.
Anybody got $1,000? Go to twitch.tv/the You got Amazon Prime, you got Twitch Prime.
we need to start a pool to get this
a GoFundMe
together. So that's the only reason why. Like, I mean, he's a good character. He's not a major character. Yeah, but I don't know. That just made an impression.
There is a funny moment, going back to Karen, when the new people show up, where she doesn't know Bob Vance originally, and Phyllis is all offended. She's like, Bob Vance will know or hear about this, and she's like, who? Bob Vance Refrigeration, or no, like, you have a lot to learn here, kiddo, or whatever it is. Yeah. And then later in the episode, like, Karen recognizes that. She's like, oh, Bob Vance Refrigeration. And Phyllis gives like the approving nod.
Or I think he's at a Christmas party and he's introducing himself to everybody. He's just like going around and he says Bob Vance
Refrigeration. And then Ryan's like, so Bob, what do you do? Yep. That's like season 1, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Yep.
So, and then the last person that I have in S tier is Daryl. Because first of all, he's hilarious. Second of all, he's really smart and has a really good heart. Yeah. Like, he really cares for his friends, and he's a good dad. He really cares. Like, I think his daughter is in like 1 or 2 episodes. He's just such a good dad. Like, he's just a really caring person. And I appreciate that. Yeah. And that's pretty much it, just because he's such a caring person.
Nice. Well, there you have it, Internet. There's our tier list of characters for The Office. Did you agree? Did you not agree? Leave them down in the comment section below. Yell at me because I don't remember anybody's names and I'm a hashtag fake fan. I never watched the show, which is true. Because look who's at the top of my list. The most famous 3 characters of the show that probably anybody knows. So, who's to say? Who's to say?
True. Did you just pull up a Wikipedia list?
Yeah, you know, you can't see my computer screen. Maybe I was just dragging people over one by one, being like, this person seems fine.
Also, I will say you can't see me right now, but I literally do have a character list pulled up on my phone so that I could look up people's names because I'm so bad with names.
It's all right. Cool. Moving on to topic 3. Topic 3 is about the game that is sweeping the nation of America and the world. It is called Animal Crossing. A nation of Earth.
Oh, gosh.
It's time for Animal Crossing talk. Yes, Animal Crossing. This game came out in March. And Lady and I have been playing it almost nonstop for God knows why. I know. Last I checked my time play weeks ago, I was at 60 hours. At this point, it's probably 80 plus. This game has consumed us, and we don't know why. This is both of our first Animal Crossing games.
Yes. Neither of us have ever played an Animal Crossing.
Neither of us have played an Animal Crossing. We've played Minecraft. We played Stardew. And that was a big concern of mine going into this game was Stardew was great. Enjoyed it quite a bit, but it kind of tapered off and lost me after a while. Mm-hmm. I had a big fear that was going to be the same thing with Animal Crossing, and so far hasn't happened yet. Now, it might eventually. There are moments where we're kind of catching ourselves being like, what do we do now kind of thing. But this game, I don't know what it is. It's so simple, but also so complex in a way that makes mathematicians scratch their head as they don't know the secret formula to kicking their neighbors off their island. It doesn't make any sense. So
I have a question.
Yeah.
How do you see how long you've played a game?
So go to your profile, like where you would add friends and stuff, and it should be in your recent titles. So go to Kate's page. If you go up to profile, it has your thingy. Holy shit. I have played Animal Crossing New Horizons for 120 plus hours.
Mine says played for 135 hours or more.
Oh my god. Yeah, so we might have played it a little bit.
That's a lot of hours. I'm not proud of that.
I'm kinda, but not really, because that's almost as much time as I played Overwatch, and I played Overwatch more than 2 months. Ooh, okay. So
no.
Man. All right. So yeah, I don't know what it is about this game that just like it's so simple, but like I said, it's so complex. It's one of those games that you can just play but not like be super invested in the story because there's not much one. We rolled credits probably a week or 2 after we got it.
Yeah.
Like
you can just kind of go fishing.
Yeah.
Or catch butterflies.
Mm-hmm.
Or
hack the system and make Tarantula Island if you want to.
Yes. And I kind of appreciate that. It's a weird game because it's kind of boring. And especially if you just explain it to somebody what it is, it's like, that sounds like a really boring game.
Right.
It's like, yeah, it kind of is.
Right.
But I also have obviously played more than 135 hours of it.
Right.
And I still am playing it.
Mm-hmm.
And I still enjoy it. So it's just relaxing. And you can kind of do not whatever you want, but like design-wise, you can do whatever you want. You have your house. that you can upgrade that is a complete ripoff. The stuff is so expensive.
Mm-hmm.
But like you can decorate it however you want. You can lay out your island however you want, which can be a little bit overwhelming for me because my creativity doesn't work that way. So the same thing in Minecraft. Like when you can do anything, I just get overwhelmed and don't know what to do and can't come up with any ideas.
Mm-hmm.
So I need a little bit more direction. But if you're the kind of person who likes a blank slate where you can do whatever, then it's great. And obviously people have done amazing things with the design of their island.
For sure. Well, excuse me. Yeah, so that's kind of the phase of the game that we're at right now. So, generic timeline of this game. You're on a desert island, you get on there, you kind of make it your own. You get villagers to live on your island. It kind of becomes like a mini village on this island or whatever. But yeah, you can make it as fancy or as campsite-esque wilderness like you want, like Kate said. So yeah, the point that we're at is pretty much just, the world is your oyster type thing. Like you've done everything to upgrade your island, at least that there is now. Upgrade stores, upgrade, like I said, the amount of houses that you can have and villagers on your island. So from here, it's just a matter of like customizing your island or traveling to randomly generated islands for resources, along with seasonal events that they're constantly adding updates to. So Kate mentioned fishing and bugs that you can catch. There's new ones that cycle throughout the year. So like, for example, summer fish are not going to show up in winter and vice versa. And there's certain bugs. I mentioned Tarantula Island. That used to be a big money maker because you could sell tarantulas for like 8,000 bells or currency. And now those are no longer available. But now there's another high market bug of scorpions that are on there. And I'm not sure exactly how long those will run, but
equally as horrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't like those.
So those will last. You have a museum that you can donate to and kind of upgrade with fossils that you find or the insects and fish that you catch if you choose to donate them. And even just walking through the museum is just a cool sight to see. But yeah, Kate and I are both at the point where I said we're customizing our islands. I feel pretty satisfied with what I've done. It's just a matter of like what's going in between houses or scenery, while Kate is at the early stages of figuring out where she wants everything to be if she chooses to rearrange. And then another big venture that we've both dove into is our villagers, is getting specific villagers that we really want. Whether it's because a character says a very negative term towards other villagers, or they're just not our favorite. And a way we've been playing with this, Kate has started time traveling. Now, for those of you guys who don't know the concept of time traveling, it's pretty much hacking your system. So, not really, but it's real simple. Hey, you can look at the reflection of the stream.
Hey.
So pretty much what it is your console obviously has the date and time attached to it. You can go into it and skip ahead days, months, years if you wanted to, open the game up, and it will think it's that time. So by doing this, you could access new items either in the store or in the world, or also you can kind of progress, or at least people say you can progress having your villagers be upset and want to move. And then from there, you kind of play the wild game of random charades, or not even charades, but random bingo of drawing a new villager that you want on one of these randomly generated islands. So funny enough, we both were playing it normal. Kate decided to do time travel, and I was still just playing day by day. I still haven't time traveled myself. I'm debating it. But I had a villager's home open because one person decided to leave, and I started my hunt for a new villager, and I found a deer, Fauna, and it was immediately one Kate wanted. So now Fauna is living on my island until Kate has an open spot and Fauna wants to leave. So yeah, that's kind of like the game aspect that we're playing with right now, I think. But yeah, it's going to be...
I guess we should also say that the villagers are all different animals.
Yes.
And they're like I don't know how many, like 150 or 200.
Yeah, I'd say there's like 20
Maybe.
different types of animals, and then they each have like 5 to 8 different ones with all different looks and personalities. So like,
Mm-hmm.
you start with 2 when you start your game. So I started with a cat named Cat and a cow named Coach. And then Kate started with a mouse named Bricolo and a sheep called Muffy. And then from there, as you progress through the
I think we
story,
started with 3.
no, you start with 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it's you
Never
and
mind.
2 of them, and then the
Mm-hmm.
raccoons. And then from there, you kind of progress and build your island until you hit the 10. So right now, personally, I still have my OG2. I still have Cat. I still have Coach. Bricolo now lives on my island because of an unfortunate mishap with Kate, but I was able to
That
swoop
was
him up and save
heartbreaking.
him. I have a wolf named Audie. I have a tiger named Claudia. I have a monkey named Nana. I have a reindeer named Eric. Fauna the deer is on my island. I have Eugene the koala. And then I also have Sterling the eagle. I believe that's all 10 that I have.
Whose home is a prison.
Yeah, he's probably the next one out. I thought he was cool when I met him because he was like a knight. And I was like, oh, that's dope. But yeah, checking out his house, it's like a prison. It's like, bro, what are you doing in here? So he might be getting the boot. Bro.
No.
So, yeah, there's a plethora of different characters, and it's funny. I mentioned how this game can be the simplest of things or the most complex of things, and we're going to talk a lot about the complexities of this game that's not even like designed into the game. It's just how people have decided to circumvent or work the system into their favor. So crap, I forgot what exact transition I was going to go into with this. Oh, okay. So villagers, obviously you can aim to get specific villagers. You don't have to. You could just live with those ones, and if somebody decides to leave, then you can either have them stay or have them go. But if you do the time travel aspect, at least from what people say, it can kind of help speed along the process. There are so many people looking for specific villagers that there is actually it's not the actual name, but I call it, there's actually a black market for getting certain villagers. So people are literally like exchanging like stocks villagers. I want Bricolo the mouse. I'll give you him for this many currency or this many Nook Mile tickets, which is the randomly generated islands, or this specific villager, and you swap it or whatever. It's nuts, the community that is trying to work the system here to kind of get their people.
Yeah.
And another thing is they have a literal stock market of turnips that go on. So it's a very specific vegetable. Turnips are vegetables, right? Fruit, yeah, that's sold only on Sundays, only Sunday mornings, and you can invest in them.
No problem with the way that the game does that time, which we can talk about
for sure
after your point.
So you invest in turnips, buy however many you want, and then literally throughout the week your store will give you 2 prices, one in the morning, one at the afternoon, and you have to pick what high point you want to sell. And it's a literal stock market, and there's a freaking web sheet that you can plug in your numbers and it will give you projections of what your max and min are and what days you should sell. It's just like, oh my god. But the thing is too, like, everybody else's island is random too, so people are getting the community aspect of like, hey, mine are selling for 100, hey, mine are selling for 150, mine are selling for 500, come on over. Like, people are having the community aspect of that play as well. And what other shenanigans are there? I think those are the big ones that are like big brain conspiracy.
Those are the main ones.
Yeah. But yeah, you mentioned you mentioned the time mechanic or something that you had a problem with, so you want to talk about that?
Yeah, I don't like the game telling me when I can and can't play. And I think that really, I mean, right now I'm home all the time, so I kind of can play at any time. But like, if you're at work and you can't play, there are lots of things in the game that are only available or open during certain hours of the day. And if you're not time traveling or setting your system to another time, it's real time days and times. So like, you can only buy turnips on Sunday mornings until noon, real time. So if you can't play during that time, unless you go back in time travel, you can't participate in that part of the game. And then you have shops that are only open certain hours, and prices for you to sell your turnips are only valid certain hours, like until noon and then afternoon. So if you can't play or don't want to play during those hours, like stores are only open until 9 or 10 p.m. Well, I'm an adult. What if I want to play at 11 p.m.? Right. Like, it's just, it feels constricting.
Right. And I get what they were going for. I think my big one, not so much the clothing store. The clothing store I could get. I could live with that being an hour thing. But going back to the turnip sales, so we used the spreadsheet and kind of figured out when my high point would be for sales. So unfortunately, it was the day I had to work, but it was the morning price that was really high. And I was like, all right, cool. Got to strike when the iron's hot. So I woke up 15, maybe 30 minutes earlier than I normally do. Now, for those of you guys who don't know, I usually get up at quarter to 5 to go to work. So I'm waking up 4 a.m., 4:15 to sell these damn turnips. So I woke up. I had a perfect system in play. I had Kate's turnips on my island so I could sell them for her. I had circumvented all of the stuff and stock outside of the market to make it a smooth, quick process because I knew I was going to be out of it anyway. So I woke up. I run to the store all excited, giddy to sell my turnips and make bank. I get to the store. It's closed. Store doesn't open until 8 a.m. And I'm just there going, fuck. Now,
why, God?
As a responsible adult, I didn't bring my Switch to work to just go for 10 minutes while selling them there. So I missed out on a big opportunity. So I was like, well, mother. Luckily, a friend had a decent sale price that we went over to and took care of that. But man, it's, yeah, like you said, it's just limiting and like can be frustrating that no, you can't play now, like, or whatever. So,
right.
And yeah, it is what it is.
So
it's a video game,
but yeah, and there are some things about the game, specifically the menus and dialogue with other characters, that I find really tedious.
Mm-hmm.
Like, to sell things, you have to go through a whole dialogue, and like, it's very tedious going through your inventory and selecting items and what you want to do with them. Like, I don't really know how to explain this very well, but it just feels like it takes too long to do things in the game, and it's things that you have to do repeatedly.
Yeah.
And there's not a good way to do it quickly. And so you're kind of going through the same dialogues over and over and over with the same characters, and it starts to get old when you have a lot of things that you want to do in the game. And so I think maybe some of that was intentional, because the point is that you just relax and play the game as time passes, and you're like patient with it. But I'm not. So
yeah, I mean,
that's why it gets frustrating to me.
When you're set to do something or want to do something, and then you're told to slow down, obviously that's not good. And yeah, obviously if you're only doing it once or twice, it's not that bad. But when you're going out to catch bugs and you're doing laps after you fill your inventory, and then you have to go through that dialogue all the time, yeah, it sucks. Or the best example I can use, because it is the most annoying to me, is either the museum. When you're trying to assess, you have to assess your fossil first, then you can donate them. Or when you go to the airport and you're trying to fly to one of those randomly generated islands, or even your friend's island, it's like so much of a process. Hey, do you want to fly? Cool. What do you want to do? Hey, let's connect to the internet. Are you all set? And you sure you want to go? Like, it's so many questions. Just like, let
There's
me
like
do what I
8
want to
dialogue
do.
things that you have to go through.
Yeah, it's a whole tree. Like, if you were programming, is this yes? Is this no? Is this that? Like, it's just like every roadblock along the way. So it is a small thing, but yeah, like we said, if you keep doing it, obviously it's just gonna be more apparent to you and be annoying.
Yeah, this is gonna sound like a dumb complaint, maybe, but it really, when you're trying to pick up lots of items. And it has to do the little animation of you like putting it in your pocket. I'm like, okay. There's like 20 fruits on the ground that I want to pick up.
Right.
And I don't want to sit through this animation for like 2 seconds every time.
Yeah, they should recognize it. Like, I noticed something at the crafting bench. Like, if you're crafting a lot, if you mash A, your character will actually go through it quicker. So if they had something with that for the pickup, to just make it a little bit faster, because you are doing a lot of it, maybe that would be better. And that's something they could add, but will they? Who knows?
Probably not.
But yeah, it's a great game, and we enjoy it quite a bit. I mean, obviously putting in as much time as we have, and like I said, it's only 2 months that it's been out, if that.
Yep.
And there's still more to come. Like, they just finished up Earth Day, which was super short, but they had a whole Bunny Day Easter event before that, which was fun. Towards the end, it was a little annoying, but it was fun.
Yep.
They'll have a Halloween event.
When I'm trying to only catch a fish, and it's always an egg.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
So yeah, we'll go have a Halloween event. We'll have a Christmas event. So they're constantly adding new things. They're adding new characters in to interact with. New stores and whatnot. Hi, Calvin.
Old man Calvin's here to say hello to the podcast.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a great time. If this is, I think I would definitely recommend this game to others, and I'm very grateful for the people who recommended it to me. And it does not don't think like this has to be something that you do play for 120 hours. Like, no, you do not need to get into it as much as we do.
You definitely don't.
Like,
you could fully experience the game in way fewer hours than that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, even if you just want to hit that end point, you're like, okay, I'm good, or just taking smaller bite-sized chunks too. Like, my friend Nolan, who was one of the people who recommended it to me, was like, no, it's just something you kind of pick up for 5-10 minutes a day, just like pop in, see how everything is, and that's it. And I don't know if that's how he's playing this current one, but that was how he talked about it with me. It's just like, yeah, it's something to pop in. So if that's something that you want to do, then I definitely recommend it. Like, I know a lot of people are playing it. Dio's got it, Billy's got it, Nolan's got it. There's a family down the street who I'm friends with. They all have it, and they're playing it together. Like, it was a good old time. So
yeah. That you can go and visit other people's islands. Like, your character can actually go. I can go and be on your island.
Right.
And that's really fun. So we can play together, and I can steal stuff from your island.
Yeah, it's a little
steal from your island.
And that's the thing too. Like, she mentions taking stuff. Like, you have to allow access to that. So if you were like worried about that,
it's not like any random person can just show up on your island,
right,
and take stuff from you. Like, you have to give people permission to be on your island and to be able to take stuff. Right. So,
and I will say that as a negative. That's something that I wish was better. So if you allow people permission to do stuff on your island, pick up items, they can help you chop trees, they can help you plant plants, whatnot, etc. But you can't put items down or customize your island while others are there. And I kind of wish that wasn't the case. Like, I get it if it was the allowance thing, like, hey, I'm not allowing anybody else to edit my island thing, fine. But if, like, you're allowing people to do that, you should be able to work together, be more of a cooperative experience with that.
Yeah.
Because I mentioned before, Kate's trying to rearrange her island, and it's going to be a big project if she does the original thought.
Take forever.
And knowing what I did, yeah, it takes some time, and that was non-time traveling. Like I was waiting day to day for buildings to move and stuff like that. Like I just wish I was able to lend that extra hand of how do you go dig this, and I was doing it with like chopping trees down, but that's all I can do. Excuse me for a second.
Bless you.
Thank you. Sorry, audio listeners. But yeah, so that's all. And I don't know if it's a technical thing. Maybe they just can't do it. Maybe it's not going to make the game run or whatever, but that'd be a nice thing to add.
It would.
Yeah.
And this is also a game, if you're thinking about playing it, you do not need video game skills to play this game. Yeah. This is an extremely accessible game.
Yeah, the only video game skills
for people who don't really play games. Like, anyways.
Yeah, the only video game skills you're going to need is if you want to catch tarantulas or scorpions when they're chasing after you.
Which is horrifying.
Yes, it is. They are very fast. But if you sneak up on them, you got no problem. So, pro tip. But yeah, Animal Crossing, good time. Definitely a good time.
It's a great game. Obviously, we've played a ton of it.
Yeah.
I'm kind of shocked that I've played that much of that game.
Of anything. Yeah.
It's just, like, unless you let it stress you out, which I definitely have sometimes, it's a pretty relaxing experience. Like, you have cute animals who live on your island, and you go talk to them, and you, like, make friends with them.
Yeah, and they say funny stuff.
And then
or do funny
you, like,
things.
chop down trees. Yeah, they say funny stuff. You, like, plant flowers and pick fruit, and it's just really nice. Get in a lot of debt to build your house.
No interest, though. You pay it off whenever you want.
No interest.
Till Tom comes at your door with a bat.
Yep. And then you gotta run.
Yep.
If you value your kneecaps, then you gotta run. It's just a really fun game. It's just, I think, especially with current situation, like, people are stressed out, people are at home, everybody can play this game, and you can play it together, and it's just like a chill experience. And so I think it was not that they could have foreseen that, but it was good timing for this kind of game to come out.
Right. And not everybody needs their own Switch and island. Like, obviously that can help in ways, but you can also live on the same island off one Switch. Unfortunately, only the main character can progress the story elements or whatever, but you can all run around the same island at the same time, I believe.
I didn't know you could do that.
I don't know how that works on TV. Pretty sure you can. That might be something to research, but I know you can definitely play on the same Switch, island-wise. Maybe just multiple profiles, because Kenny and his daughter are on the same island. But I don't think they both run around at the same time. So maybe not. Excuse me, from earlier. So, yep. There's that. Whew. So yeah, there's Animal Crossing. Did you want to do topic 4? We're about...
We're good. We're at, like...
2 hours.
At the limit of what you can render later.
So we'll save that for later. Alrighty, guys. This has been another episode of the Wait, What Are We Talking About podcast, episode 69. My name is Brett, a.k.a. Enigma911, and today I was joined by Kate, a.k.a. Lady in Wonderland. Kate, thank you for hopping on the podcast once again. I do appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for letting me request a episode to be on.
Yep. Of course. Remember, guys, if you you can catch this podcast live over on twitch.tv/Enigma911 every first and third Saturday of the month at 8 p.m. Eastern, where you can join in the chat like Jeff and Dio did today and talk about the topics that we talk about and all the craziness. If you can't catch it live, you can catch it over on SoundCloud and YouTube the following week, where it's broken out topic by topic and put as one big video in MP3 on the following Friday. If you ever have any topics for us that you'd like us to discuss, you can always put it in the comment section down below. We'll try our best to get to it. Remember, guys, this is brought to you by the merch store. You get all of your swag over there: t-shirts, cups, backpacks, and more. Rep the brand, support us. It'd be greatly appreciated, and Mr. Kitty would love you for it. And then remember, last thing is if you have Amazon Prime, you have Twitch Prime, so you can subscribe to any of your favorite content creators for free subscription for that month. The only thing is you do have to resubscribe each and every month, but you can help us out, support what we do and the content that we make, and we'll keep doing it for you. Well, Kate, thank you once again for being on the show. I do appreciate it.
Thank you.
And yeah, we'll have to figure out when we can get you back on and do that other topic that we were talking about. Yeah,
it's a good one.
It is a good one. Everybody who's watching, everybody who's listening, thank you guys for hanging out with us today. We will see you guys on the next one. Take care.